I'm Veronica White, and this is Psychology of Us, sharing the stories that matter. Catch us every month on Channel 31 or stream us anytime on CTV+. Welcome back to Psychology of Us, the show where we explore the fascinating intricacies of human behavior, relationships, and personal transformation. I'm your host, Veronica White, and I'm thrilled to have joined us for today's episode. Today we're diving into a subject that touches all of us at some point in our lives. It's transformation. Not the kind that happens overnight, but the kind that reshapes us from the inside out through life's challenges, hardships, and sometimes through intentional choice. Transformation often begins with a turning point. It might be a significant life event, a loss, a failure, a heartbreak that shakes us to our core. These moments are painful, but they also hold the power to break open new possibilities. You see, the very act of enduring pain or facing hardships plants the seeds for change. It forces us to look at our lives and ask, what's next? But transformation doesn't only come from pain, it also can come from choice. The choice to step into the unknown, to embrace growth, to move toward a vision of who we want to become. And here's the beauty of it. While we don't always have control over life's challenges, we do have the power to choose how we respond. Take a moment to think about this. Every challenge you faced, every hardship you've endured has shaped the person you are today. But the real question is, how do we take those experiences and use them to transform? How do we turn pain into purpose? And how do we use choice as a catalyst for change? Psychologists have studied transformation extensively, and one thing is clear. Transformation requires both reflection and action. Reflection is about looking inward, acknowledging the pain, the lessons, and the patterns that hold us back. But action is where the magic happens. It's about taking small intentional steps towards the life we want to create. So let me share a quick story. There is a concept in Japanese culture called kintsugi, or the art of repairing broken pottery with gold. Instead of hiding the cracks, kintsugi highlights them, turning the breakage into something beautiful and unique. Isn't that what transformation is about? Taking the broken parts of our lives and using them to create something even more beautiful. Now, here's where choice comes in. While challenges may force us to change, choosing transformation is an act of courage. It's deciding to leave behind old habits, toxic environments, or limiting beliefs that no longer serve us. It's honoring your boundaries, prioritizing your well-being, and creating a life that reflects your truest self. In the process of transformation, we can also change by looking after others. And I'd like to share with you another story about the rose that bloomed in adversity. There once was a gardener who tended a barren patch of land. The soil was dry, the sunlight harsh, and nothing had grown there for years. One day, while clearing the debris, she discovered a single fragile rosebud pushing through the cracked earth. It seemed impossible. How could something so delicate survive in such an unforgiving environment? The gardener decided to nurture the rose. She watered it sparingly, shielded it from the harsh winds, and whispered words of encouragement. As days turned into weeks, the rose grew stronger. Its roots dug deeper into the earth, drawing strength from what had once been considered a barren, lifeless place. Eventually, the rose bloomed into a magnificent flower. Its petals rich with color and fragrance. It wasn't just beautiful, it was resilient, a symbol of hope and transformation. The gardener realized that the rose wasn't simply surviving, it was thriving, because it had adapted to the challenges of its environment. This transformation wasn't just about the rose, it also changed the gardener. She saw the potential for growth in places she had once written off as hopeless. Inspired by the rose's resilience, she began planting seeds throughout the garden. Over time, what was once a barren land became a vibrant, thriving oasis. The rose in this story symbolizes how we can transform through adversity, Just as the rose adapted and thrived in harsh conditions, we too can find strength in our struggles. The thorns of the rose remind us that beauty and resilience often come hand in hand. This story encourages us to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. So how do we start? First, let's talk about letting go of toxicity. Toxicity can take many forms: relationships, work, environment, or even the way we talk to ourselves. Recognizing these toxic elements is the first step to releasing them. Remember, letting go isn't about forgetting or ignoring it. It's about making space for growth and healing. So next we turn to wellness routines and self-care rituals. Real self-care isn't about indulgence. It's about intention. It's asking yourself, what do I need to thrive? Maybe it's a morning walk, journaling, or simply taking a deep breath in the middle of a busy day. These small acts, when done consistently, create a foundation for transformation. And finally, boundaries. Honoring your boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to claim your space in the world. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges that connect you to others while protecting your own energy and well-being. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, and it's essential for any meaningful transformation. So let's have a conversation with our amazing guest speakers today who dedicated their careers and lives to exploring the power of transformation. Extraordinary guest joining us today to explore these topics. Please welcome Ihsan Tuncel, a CHEK practitioner and holistic life coach who guides individuals towards a healthier, more empowered way of living. His mission is to inspire a society where people thrive, rooted in vibrant health and clarity. He focuses on the foundational pillars of well-being, nutrition, lifestyle habits, mindful breathing, positive thinking, movement, exercise, and restorative sleep, to help his clients build a resilient and balanced life. His approach is grounded in simplicity and practicality. By returning to the basics, he helps clients experience meaningful, sustainable change that becomes second nature. He also teaches the art of embracing transformation, supporting them to break through limitations and step confidently into a new version of themselves. So Ihsan, your journey of transformation is so inspiring. And I'd like to ask you, what was the turning point that made you realize change was necessary in your own life? And what very first steps you took?
Okay, so I was living a life of what they call Groundhog Day. So it was a very unfulfilling life. I was 35, I was broke, I was earning $10 an hour in a takeaway at the age of 35, and I was in an unhappy marriage. I thought I had nothing to offer society, so I thought I was stuck in the takeaway, and I pretty much had to hit rock bottom. And it got so depressing that my intuition, I think, guided me out of that stage of my life. And I just totally changed as an individual and changed my environment. Yeah.
Okay, so you started from changing your environment?
Yeah, so, for me, it was a big deal being broke because I was sick of it. So I thought, what can I do? What can I do? What do I enjoy? And I realized I do enjoy exercise. And I thought maybe I could become a personal trainer. I had a lot of self-doubt around that, but I did a personal training course. I left my wife at the time, which was very hard in my culture. I did that, and I landed a job at Fitness First in 2006.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, my income went up by fivefold, which was a big deal for me because I never had any money.
Definitely.
So it totally changed my life.
Big breakthrough.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so can you share with us, Ihsan, because it's very inspirational, how do you picture that person, who's standing there and then feels like they have nothing to offer, I'm not good enough, so many aspects of my life not going well. Where did you take that strength? You said that intuition, there was guidance of your intuition, but what was the moment, what people can maybe in similar situations use?
Well, looking back in hindsight, I probably stayed there far too long, but that was just my journey. So as a coach, I try to help my clients not stay in a dark place for too long. I want to get them out of there through my experience. But it was like I was doing it with my eyes closed. I think I was being guided by my higher self, and I just trusted the process. It was full of self-doubt. I didn't think I was going to succeed. And even when I did land the job as a personal trainer, in the first 6 weeks, I wasn't making any money. And I was about this close to going back to the takeaway restaurant, to my comfort zone. But thankfully I didn't. And I became one of the most successful personal trainers in Melbourne.
And it's amazingly that from takeaway person, you got into the healthiest possible nutritionist we can imagine.
Yeah. I think the key thing was, because I can't say that I had a strategy doing it. The way I changed my life was, as I said, my eyes were pretty much closed, but I was just praying that I was making the right steps, leaving my partner at the time, etc. But yeah, changing my environment, because I moved to a different part of Melbourne, changing my environment, changing the people that I'm surrounded by, totally changed my life, because I was now surrounded by people that were more curious, more successful, more driven, more positive. And, you know, that, as I say, you are affected by your environment and the people in your environment. So I think changing the environment started a process of a hunger for growth. Yeah.
So it's changed your sort of paradigm, how you look at the things.
Yeah. Like, for instance, the clients that I was having at the time as a personal trainer, you know, they're all very, very successful. And I was looking at them thinking, wow, I think I could do this too, because I totally transformed my life.
So slowly your confidence was building and the self-doubt was disappearing while you were doing things, not before.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
So it wasn't vision map and then you do the things.
I didn't have a process.
Doing the action taking, and then it just was in the process.
Yes. So I learned as I was going along. Yeah.
Okay.
And what I found as a coach, Veronica, is that people aren't doing the basics. Sleep is one of them. Thinking is one of them. Because if you're allowing your health to deteriorate, you've got a thinking problem. You don't know the value of your health. You're not valuing your health, and that automatically is an issue with the mind. Because most people have a reactive mindset to their health. They only value their health when they're sick or unwell. And I've coached many clients, some of them super wealthy, and they are prepared to give away their entire wealth just to regain their health. Movement, we're designed to move. Breathing, so 90% of people that I assess do not even know how to breathe properly. All right, so breathing is another one. Sleep is another one, and hydration.
Hydration.
Yeah, so like I met a lady today at a supermarket and she was yawning. I said, how much water have you had? She goes, I had none. Okay, that's why you're probably yawning, not because you're tired, because you're dehydrated. She goes, oh, she found that interesting.
That's the most popular energy drink should be water.
100%.
Okay.
100%. It's the only liquid we need, yeah.
We'd better stay hydrated.
Yes.
And thank you so much, Ihsan, for coming here.
Thanks for having me, and I love your work and I love what you're doing for the society.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on Psychology of Us today, where we explored the intricacies of human mind and the power of transformation. Thanks to the insights shared by our guest speakers, Marwa Rida and Ihsan Tuncel. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and never stop growing.